trick when doing this is that you don't want to go slow. You will dig into it really quick. You just want to be nice fluid movement, and you'll get nice little paper. What I use at home is actually just a hand gel sander. And I either clamp the material and go around it with a sander, or I take my sander and flip it upside down and put that in the clamp, and then I can do it like that. So I was supposed to bring this in today. I got about 3 hours. You can actually, you got the time, you can hand it.
Yeah, it's about anything else like
That's where we got it from.
You can get the heating elements.
Wait.
I told somebody already, just go to any washer and dryer or place, and they'll have the heating element.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. If you find an old scratch and dent, or when they buy a new one, they offer to haul your old one off. They'll have them sitting behind the place in the trash. You can pull them right out of the back. I've used them on heating units. You know the little more units that you use, electric heaters. You pull them out of it. I mean, just all it is behind the. All right. Basically, what we got here is we've got Novus scratch remover, acrylic scratch remover. It comes heavy duty, medium, and then that's actually cleaner. This is what you'd want to use instead of Windex. The ammonia and Windex will actually turn your acrylic white. So I've had these bottles for 3 or 4 years. They're still happy. It doesn't take much. I probably buffed out 8 or 9 tanks. Matter of fact, I just had somebody give me a 55 clear tank that had a false pack in it. He gave it to me because it looked like somebody keyed it. And it looks brand new. I put it in my kids' room. They're really enjoying it. So we did pretty much light scratches. If y'all want to feel that, you can kind of feel what's in there. You can actually feel that it's actually scratched it up pretty good. And it's just as simple as adding a little bit of compound, grabbing your buffer. Now, stand back because I might sling a little bit. I'm going to go slow just to get it going. Now the key to buffing is never sit in one spot too long. So you just want to go at a slow speed at first to get into the material, and then pick it up. Matter of fact, Ray already got into this piece, so I'm going to start out with some golden compound. Yeah, he got into that. And the only difference between the compound is the grit that's in it.
Hey, Jason, the container store, is that over by the Galleria?
Yeah, that's actually where I bought this.
610. What's gonna sling for sure.
The more you work with it, the better.
And, you know, like the one that I had that had really deep gouges in it, just kept buffing it. I probably buffed it for about 2 hours. Went over the tank probably 3 different times, and it'll come back. And of course, the smaller the piece is, the more I got a really big buffer here because I've done big tanks. I cover a lot of areas.
Yeah, you definitely know it's going to need a buffer that's those are for boats and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Wax in your car.
Now, I've already taken the light layer off. If you put your hand on it now, you can't feel it, how smooth it is. But you can still see it, so I've got some deeper ones in there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working that material down until I get the surface down even with the scratch. But before, you could feel all the notches in there, and now it's just getting like a baby. It just takes time. Messy job. And sometimes I'll add a little bit of water on there to keep it from drying out so fast, so I can actually work the compound longer and longer and longer. And this heavy grit compound will not get it where it needs to be, because I'm actually taking a lot of material off of this, so it's actually scratching it more. So I'm trying to get those scratches down to the bottom. If you think of a scratch as it's a smooth surface, and when you scratch it, you put a divot in it. So you're taking the outside material down to where the scratch is. I didn't want him to scratch it that bad because I was trying to do it in a hurry. You know what? Hey, did you give me a place of leg sand? You gave me a piece of leg sand. This is not acrylic. No, it's not.
It's getting better though. It's getting there.
Oh yeah, this just takes time.
Eventually come on. Say Ray went to town with the scratcher.
They actually put some deep.
Say put some deep scratches in there, Ray.
Yeah. That's a little piece, so I can't really bear down on it. I'll snap it.
Should use a 500 grid. No.
Make it good. He just hated it.
Oh yeah. It's almost all done.
Yeah, let me wipe it off. There's still scratches around the edge, but I was working it right there in the middle. You got a rag?
Okay, a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You see, I was working it basically right here. Because when I get on the edge,
Once you
it
fill
wants
it
to
with water,
jump off.
you're really not gonna see it that much.
So when I try to get on the edge, it wants to jump off and grab it. But I was basically working it in right. This area is where I was putting all the pressure. Middle there. This is what it was before. On the outside end. You can see where I took it all out.
Yep.
And what was that? 5 minutes? And that's with the heavy compound. So after you got it down to where you're getting a nice clear look like that, then you want to come back with the fine scratch remover.
Number 2.
And work that same area again and get it even smoother. And then this is actually your cleaner. And the cool thing about that cleaner is it also puts a real protective coat. So it's kind of like buffing your car, how you have a waxy coat on there where things will bead off of it, protect it. And the longer you let it sit, it actually absorbs into the acrylic.
What if it's glass?
Glass, I can't help you. That's the advantages of acrylic over glass. Once it's glass is scratched, I can't help you.
Oh, you can't stand in glass?
There's two advantages to acrylic over glass. It's buffable. As you can see, I got that pretty clear and not even working with it very much at all. And it's lightweight.
Yeah.
So instead of you having a 800 to 1,000 pound tank that you need 50-year frames to have to move in, two guys can usually move a 500 gallon acrylic tank with no problem.
Amen.
It's also very rigid. Glass, put water in it, it bows. This is very rigid. This is kind of, I like to use this wool one when I get down to the fine compound. That right there is a synthetic one. It's really good for taking scratches, big heavy scratches out to begin with. When you want to get a really high luster, go to a wool pad. And it makes a really good high luster. We'll look over here. And like I said, the more time you spend with it, the better it'll be. And I'll go ahead and start working these outer edges and see if I can't get this paint looking like this.
Are these compound Reef safe, or you got?
Yes, they're all Reef safe.
Okay.
I've done multiple tanks. The only thing I do after I buff it out is rinse it out with tap water.
Okay.
Wipe it off with a rag. Use this on the outside, not the inside. It does coat the inside of your tank. You might have a little film to it.
That would be example of the trowel pack you could get.
Yeah, this is kind of like what City Pets sell.
City Pets would have them in that one. They're about 10 or 11 bucks for them. I don't know how much that covers on it. There's a little polishing cloth in there and stuff like that.
Right, if you want to do it by hand.
You might get a small, yeah, you might get a small aquarium done out of that one, maybe depending on how thick your scratches are and stuff like that.
It actually does go a long way. I've actually taken this and put it into like a plastic cup and then added a little bit of water to really water it down to, this is more like a paste. I've got it to where it's like a liquid, like you would drink it, and you can buff on it and buff on it and buff on it and buff on it and buff on it, and it won't dry out. And when I have something that's really hard to get the scratches out, that's usually the way I'll do it. I add a little bit of water, or I'll take a squirt bottle and squirt the surface first. Just a squirt bottle and put like a fine film on it, like if I was doing Windex or something, and then lay the rubbing compound over it. Now the only bad thing about that is the more watery you get it, you're going to sling it everywhere. Lay some newspaper around where you are. You can see just right there, those are just fibers slinging off that. I've used that pad 8 or 9 tanks. Really, probably should change it out. But it does sling material off. But you know, throw your stuff in the dryer, washer, comes right out. So I'll sit here and play with this a little bit and see if I can get the whole panel looking really good.
You can probably buff it out.
This is starting to get on my nerves.
I think it's okay where we know, you don't have to wait till pace.
Well, the way they have this was connected to it.
And the key to it is actually applying some pressure. I don't want to put too much pressure because I feel like I'm going to snap it. But normally, I would have it, if I didn't want to worry about putting compound all over his table, I'd have it clamped to a solid surface.
Oh yeah.
So that I can push down on it and bear on it. I don't want to have to sit here and clean everything. When I bear down on it, once they take it. It's a small piece. I probably should have done this on like a 1 by 1.
Lay it on the table.
It's looking a lot better, especially on the middle. I'll just have to clean the table.
Yeah. And then I got the.
I know some guys who like to put it directly on the buffing pad, but what I've found is that usually just slings it everywhere. You just start out slow and try to work on the material. Water to it, it really does make you work it a lot longer. And that's kind of one of their deals, is just a pace, dries out really quick. So I like to put a little water in it. I can work that compound a little bit longer, but here again, it is a lot makes it just slow it. If you've ever buffed a car or a boat or anything like that, it's pretty much the same process. Really hard to see on the scratch. Oh yeah, it's looking a lot better. Can't work around the edges because my pad keeps catching the corners. The center of it, it's looking.
Probably not going to do it because that'll take like 2 minutes to heat.
You buff your rack for you, brother?
Looks like he wants.
Is it feasible?
Very. I'm here until you're ready to go home, bro.
That'd be a good buff right there.
It'll be easy because it's thick, too.
When you glue the acrylic together,
Oh yeah, that's all gone right there. Pretty
This is
much.
what it was. This is what we buffed. That's brand new.
Yeah.
So it's easy to bring it back. Just a little bit of work. A little bit of elbow grease.
TLC,
There's no reason why
TLC.
your acrylic paint can't last you like me. I've had one up and going now for 17 years.
how many gallons is that?
So 125, 120. If you count the sump, 150.
Right.
Jason.